A very good morning to you on this beautiful Wednesday morning. The sun is out and the weather seems to be very good in the last few days. Right, today and I'm wearing one of them. Today we are going to be making this beautiful fleur pendant. I got 4 new colorways for you. I really cannot wait to show you. I'm going to show you the old ones and the new ones as well. Shall I take you down on the mat first, or shall I pop you over to the website? I think I'm going to pop you over to the website and then I can take you down to the mat and show you all these beauties. I have designed this some time ago. We have added colors to it previously. It has been really popular because I love sort of making flowers. I love kind of like bringing nature into your jewelry. So very quickly I'm gonna pop you over to the website, and with the website we do have got some changes as well. So there we go. So by now you know, let me just get rid of this little window. By now you know you need to go to totothebeads.co.uk, and you are going to, no, I don't want to install any updates right now. And then it's all changed on the front page. So we used to have a carousel, we used to have like a video tutorial button, we used to have all sorts of different things, and now we made it kind of like easier for people to access it, and it has got a little bit of a better flow to it, I think. So what you're going to do, you can scroll down and all the different things going to come up from new products, favorite departments. That's the ones like you click on the most. Video tutorials are there as well. And all the other ones, it's really quite clever what they can do with websites now. So I'm going to go back up to the top, and what you're going to do is to click on this button here, learn to make jewelry, and underneath it click on jewelry making. Now we have got jewelry kits, USB devices, video tutorial, BeadClub, all sorts of different things going on here as well. Check them all out. You're going to go into video tutorials, and the page is pretty much the same as it was before, but now like sort of it's wider and we can have more things on there. So today is the fleur pendant, and you're going to go into there, and you're going to see come up again, the video is still going to be there, so you can watch it back later on, and you're going to come up with all the different options as well. What's really great about the new website, that you can search and drill down into categories. So even if you just put in I don't know, I want a red bead, we're gonna come up with all sorts of different options for you, and then you can specify on the side if I want a 3mm, 4mm, or what sort of material as well. So today is the fleur pendant, and if you go in here, we do have got they $6.99 each, or you get 3 for £18. We got so many beautiful colors, 13 colors in total now. I made 3 of the new colors up, and the 4th one I'm going to be demoing today. So let's just get started. So fleur pendant blue, bronze, crystal, copper, which is a beautiful red. That's one of the new ones. I'm going to show you that just in a second. Dark blue, we have got the Jokil bronze, which is like a beautiful yellow one. I'm going to show you that as well. I'm going to be demo with that one. We got light gold, we got matte green spot, we got it's purple, we got red gold, we got silver, we got suede and grey, and we got white and white gold. So those are the choices you can choose. Right, I'm gonna come back, and then I'm gonna go down on the mat and show all the options for you. Let's just zoom out a little bit so you can see. These are, I sort of queued my materials here for the new make. I'm going to move this camera over, that will be the easiest way to do it. So we got all these beautiful pendants, and bear with me one sec, I'm just gonna check out why are it's not, they're just saying it's not showing on Facebook again, but Facebook have been checked on, so I'm not sure what's happening. I tried to schedule it last night and then it said no, it didn't want to go on at all. According to my studio here is on, Facebook is on, so I don't know what's happening. Kimberly saying, is Facebook not working? Good morning everyone. Tracy, Lucy, good morning. David, good morning. Kim, David, he said he's got 4 colorways. Great weather this morning. Joy, good morning. Rachel, good morning. She says lovely sunny morning here in Barrow. Right, okay. I'm not sure what's happening with Facebook again. I'm gonna have to investigate that, because definitely coming from my end, I guess, from my computer, somewhere on the line is the links are broken. So blue green, I really love this sort of aqua color. I love how, and I'm gonna go back and zoom in so you can see it closer. So I really love this color. I love sort of turquoisey colors with a hint of sort of an earthy, creamy, browny colors as well. I think they just really go very nicely together. Next one is the bronze, which is this beautiful one. It's a darker color. Again, I love colors like this because they do go with quite a lot of things. Next one is one of the new colors, which is this one, the Crystal Copper. So it's sort of a red color with a hint of purple in there. Really interesting how it came together, this color for me. And first I wasn't sure to like when I tried it out with the red crystals, and I thought, oh, perhaps the red crystals are gonna be taking it to the wrong directions. But I think because the seed beads are a little bit more purpley and the crystals are ready, it really brings together the pendant itself. Right, okay, so next one is the dark blue, which is this one of my favorite colors, the blues. Next one is going to be the Jokil bronze, which I'm going to be demoing with. Then the one after that is the light gold, which is this one. This one is again a new, is this the light gold? Yes, one of the new colors. All the messages coming in. Okay, the Facebook not working. Why is Facebook not working? Next one is a new color again, matte green spot. I love this color again. This is sort of combining a bit of a tealy color with more of an olive color. I really love the two colors going together here. Next one is the purple, which is this one right here. Darker seed beads with lighter Amos. The Amos really stand out on this one. Next one is the red gold. I love putting red and gold together. I think it's such a lovely color. Then we have got the silver, which I am wearing right here. I'll take it off in a minute and show it to you. Then we got the Sud Gray, which is more, it's again, I got like sort of a silver hint to it, but it's more of a taupe, more of like sort of a warmer hint of there. Next one is the white, which is this one. And last but not least, we have got the white gold, which is, it's got this beautiful sort of a little bit of a pinks purpley vein coming in those Amos beads, and I together with the gold seed beads, I think they just really bring each other out. Right, okay, so good morning, Elizabeth. Nice to see your Funnies Creations. Oh, purple. Nice to see you. Camille said she did this one before. Let us know if you enjoyed it. Really easy make. Morning, Mina. Morning, Sue. Lucy said she's posted the links in all the places. So hopefully we'll have people coming in, and she posted the link as well for the materials. Right, okay, so I'm going to demo with these ones, and I really love this color because again Yellow is not something what I usually would go for, but I do think yellow with like combining it with some other colors, it's really nice. It really brings it out, sort of the best in it. And I love combining yellow with gold, because it just brightens the whole sort of jewelry what you're making up with it. You could combine yellow with orange, or you can orange and red. You can take it to that direction as well, but then it's gonna look slightly different. So we're gonna need the Amos beads. Amos beads have 2 holes on them, so we'll have a hole right on the tip and one kind of underneath it, and we're gonna go through different holes at different times. So I will show you when and how, which hole you're gonna need to go through. We're gonna use 4mm round crystal beads. We're also gonna use some 2x3 crystal beads, and we're also going to be using some size 11 Toho seed beads. So that is your material list for the kid, to make this for the kids as well, and then to make this beautiful pendant. So when I designed this pendant, it was quite funny, and I really enjoyed it because at one point it did look like a pine cone, but I really wanted to have it flat on one side. So the side which is sits kind of against your skin is nice and flat. And then, so if I show it for you from sideways, so you get more of a sort of a flatter flower rather than something which is coming out at you. So we're gonna start by, we're gonna pick up a seed bead, an Amos bead, seed bead, Amos beads, until you have got 6 of each on there. Now there's a good practice to do when you pick up the Amos beads. What I usually do, I just turn my needle kind of sort of towards my eye and look through the second hole, because sometimes you can pick one up and then the second hole is blocked, and when you're trying to go back through it, you won't be able to, because the hole on the bead is blocked. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pick up this pattern, seed, Amos, seed, until I have got 6 of each on my needle, and then I'm going to take them down. And that's 4. Then I'm tracing the Amos on my mat. 5, and finally the last one is number 6. So I'm going to take them all down. I'm going to go through all of them one more time. What I love about pattern beads like this, that each one of those little petals really are going to look different somewhat. So I'm going to go all around all of the beads one more time until I get to my tail. Usually I don't like to knot my tail and my working thread together, but sometimes if I don't have to come through the beads again, it gives you quite a good base, to sort of a solid base to start with. However, when you're going to be knotting this together, you really want to avoid knotting it very, very tight, because you still need to go to some of the beads. So you don't want your beads sitting together very tightly. So I'm just going to knot this together, right over left, left over right, and then I'm gonna work away from my tail. I'm gonna go through the next seed, Amos, and the next seed as well. So I'm gonna start right in the middle of my pendant, and I'm gonna add my sort of decoration beads, which will cover up this hole in the middle. This is very quick. Just got the PDF instructions. David is saying, yes, it is a very quick process, and it builds up quite quickly, because by row, we're going to work from the middle all the way to the outside as well. Right, so I'm going to pick up my 10mm flat crystal, and as I'm coming out of the seed bead at the bottom, I'm going to go right to the opposite side and go through the seed bead on the top, and I'm going to pull this up. Then I'm going to come back through that crystal bead I just added, and I'm going to go through the seed bead one more time. Now when you look at it from the bottom, you can see the crystal is connected to the seed bead on this side already, so there's a thread path there. So I'm going to come from the other side, go through that seed bead and go through the Amos bead in front of it as well. So that's kind of like row 1 and our middle is done. We're going to turn around. We're going to turn around in the Amos, and as we are coming out sort of like the inner hole, the hole on the very tip, we're just going to come back on ourselves on the hole which is further out. Now I'm going to turn this around because I kind of like to stitch away from myself. And the next step we're going to do, we're going to fill the gaps in between the petals there. So I'm just going to go ahead, I'm going to take the smaller crystal from the kit and just go through the next bead. Pick up another one, go through the next bead. Pick up the next one, go to the next bead. Lucy's saying, Totally Beads LTD, I really like it, just got to find everything again. I could find things on the old site with my eyes called, yeah, absolutely, Lucy. But I think like there is so many cool features of this new website. It is really much more responsive, and you will be able to find things easier. I think because we have got, gosh, I don't know how many thousands of products we have on the website now, but it must be close to or over 30,000 products. With the old website, it was very sort of rigidly structured how you can go between categories, and you couldn't really search and drill down to a specific one what you wanted. So I added these crystals. You can, and I like to run around the crystals and the Amos one more time, just to kind of have a stronger bond between them, because with crystals sometimes you can have a bit of more sharper edge, where perhaps as they, you know, they did cut the facets on the bead, it just makes it a bit more secure. So I'm always extra cautious whatever crystal I use. Sometimes I go through one more time just to have the extra added security in between the beads and the thread. Right, I don't know if I went all the way around. I'm going to go to one more. And then once you finished going around reinforcing this row, you want to come out of one of the crystal beads. Just like that. So we're going to start adding the second row of petals now. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to pick up 2 seed beads, I'm going to pick up 1 Amos and another 2 seed beads, and I'm going to jump over the Amos right in front of me, and I'm just going to go through. You kind of have to wiggle it a little bit, your needle in between those 2 petals, and go to just the crystal. And I'm going to pull this up, and what I want to make sure here that this petal is going to sit behind the petal which is already there. I don't want it at the front, I want it at the back. So I'm working on the back. If I turn around, you can see this is slightly sitting behind. So I'm going to go ahead and repeat this 5 more times until I get all the way around. I'm just going to take a sip of my coffee as well. Richard's saying 1 fridge freezer now delivered. Woohoo! It's nice to have a new fridge freezer that has so many. Like, I think this is exactly the same when you buy something like that, that because you don't have to buy them every single year. And oh gosh, the last one I bought, maybe Lucy was like 2 years old, it's like 14-15 years ago, when I bought a fridge before, and I just had one in January. You kind of, I get amazed how much technology sort of moves along, but same with a Hoover as well. Like, you probably only buy a Hoover like every 10 years, and then technology moves along so much in the 10 years that it always amazes me that, like, you know, what they can do now. And some of the fridges and freezers, they got cameras in them, and you can you can connect them to the Wi-Fi, and then when you're out shopping, you can have a look what's in the fridge. It just like really blew my mind. There are all sorts of different things what they can do with technology now. So I'm just picking up 2 seed beads, 1 Amos and 2 seed beads. Which is saying, I love Amos beads as they make good flower petals, absolutely. I love like most of shape beads because there's so many different things you can do with them. I'm just coming through the last one. And then I'm gonna go ahead. My thread is twisting, I'm just gonna untwist it. You looped it around, I looped it around Amos. Let me just grab another needle. And then I'm just gonna get rid of that little sort of thread looped around itself. This happens sometimes when your thread is twisted. There we go. It's not right? Yes. So you can untwist your thread as well before you start sort of making and throughout the make as well. And you would do that like by holding your needle right underneath the eye and taking your hand and pulling your, like holding the thread between your index finger and thumb and pulling it all the way down. And I just do that a couple of times. That's to really twist all it out. And as you can see, it's spinning underneath it, so it was twisted. And just lift the work off. There we go. So hopefully we'll find. Right, okay, so we added kind of the second row, but we only really added half of this row because now we have to go along and fill in between the petals, because from 6 petals we go to 12 petals on this row. So as I'm coming out of that crystal, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go into the 2 seed beads and Amos in front of me, and 1 more seed bead on the other side, and then I'm gonna pick up 1 seed bead, 1 Amos, 1 seed bead, and I'm gonna go through a seed bead, Amos, seed bead on the next petal. So I'm just adding 1 in between the ones which are already on there. So seed, Amos, and seed, and then through the next seed, Amos, seed, seed, Amos, seed, and keep filling them in until I get all the way around. There we go. I'm just taking the tail out of the way. Got 3 more to add. David is saying my brother accidentally hit the freeze boost, and so we had the frozen yogurt, which was like sorbet, and all the, oh no, the fridge. Oh yeah, like that happens. It's like if you put something in there, and it's usually on the side or the top, and everything gets very chilly. So seed, Amos, seed, and then going through 1 seed, Amos, seed, filling the gaps in all the way along. Seed, Amos, seed, so if you want to, you can go around again this row one more time, because we're going to step up and you're not going to be coming back in here. If you're a loose beader, which meaning like your sort of thread is sort of working with loose tension, then it is a good idea to sort of just go around and reinforce this row. So you tighten it up a little bit. I am quite a tight beader, so usually I don't really need to go around one more time, but I'm just going to do it to show you. I'm going to go through the next, I don't know how many I've been through. Once you went all the way around, you are going to stop by an Amos bead. And as we're coming out in the sort of the inner hole, I'm going to turn this around and I'm going to go through the outer hole. So I'm in the second hole. And once again, I sort of stepped up a row here. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add the smaller crystals in between again, sort of fill those gaps all the way along. So first we had 6 petals, now we got 12 petals. And all the way around. I really do love this colorway, and don't forget it's 3 for $18 on the website today. Do check it out, otherwise they're $6.99 each. There we go. Keep on going around. And with anything like this, when you design something like this, it's just working out sort of the right size of beads to go together. Right, I'm all the way around. Again, you could reinforce this row if you like to by going around one more time. And once you finished reinforcing, you want to come out one of the crystal beads again. I'm going to go ahead, and what we're going to do now is to fill in sort of the back of this crystals. And I just want to point out, at the moment, if I put it down, they lay quite flat. You don't have to add another row of Amos to it. So if you just want your pendant a little bit smaller, this could be it. So you don't have to have it make it bigger and bigger. But what we're going to do is to add some seed beads to the back, which add sort of an overall structure. Those seed beads are going to turn these petals to a little bit of an angle, and then we can add the next row. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pick up 3 seed beads, 1, 2, 3, and as I'm coming out of the crystal here, I'm just going to go through the crystal in between the next and the one after Amos bead, and I'm going to pull this up, and I want to make sure that these seed beads end up on the back. So even if they wander to the front, you're going to have to take that loop and pull it to the back of your pendant. So when I put it down on the front, can you see, if I show it from to the side, that because of those seed beads, those petals are gonna kind of like stand up a little bit, and your beadwork from flat gonna go more like a little bit more of a 3D effect. So I'm just very quickly gonna pick up these seed beads and run around on this row, 1, 2, 3, and the next one. And I'm going all the way around, adding the 3 seed beads in. Going through there, just making sure. I'm just going to turn around, just sort of double checking it as I go, and keep on going. So what do you think so far? Is it easier or is it harder? What you thought, how this pendant is made up? Do let me know in the chat. The kit does come with instructions, with PDF instructions. So you could, if you choose the download version, then print, or You can choose the printed version. I'm just going to keep going around. One, two, three, and to the next one, adding the 3 seed beads in. I've got 3 more knots to add. It's coming together quite quickly. 1, 2, 3. And I think we need one more. Yeah, that's it. So I'm going to add one more, the last one. I'm going to come through that crystal. Sometimes you have to wiggle your needle a little bit just to kind of find the hole there. There we go. And pull these up, so they kind of sitting on an angle now. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go to the back and make sure that's not twisted, and I'm going to go through the 3 seed beads as well to be in position to add my next row of petals. And this row, all I'm going to be doing is, as I'm coming out of the 3rd seed bead there, I'm going to pick up an Amos and then go through the next 3 seed beads. Then I'm going to pick up another Amos. But if you wanted to, like, you don't have to add another row. You could stop the kind of like the pendant at that size. It's really, this is what I love about jewelry making, that you can really cater it for what you want it to look like. And one by one, I'm just going to be adding these Amos beads here to the back. So going through 3 seed beads, picking up an Amos, then going through the next 3. Again, another Amos, going through the next 3 seed beads. This is saying, love this colorway, so pretty. I really love it too. I love this patterned Amos, well, not just Amos, all sorts of 2-hole beads, check beads, Puca beads. You can get like patterned ones. I think they just give that little bit more of a depth to your beadwork, but I equally do like the plain ones as well. It depends, but I think these ones are really pretty. Just keep picking up one and going all the way around. At the moment, the petals kind of like flip-flopping, but it doesn't really matter because they're going to straighten up in the next step and they're going to sit the right way. I just want to make sure I haven't got kind of like a loose thread, or if it's twisted, like kind of untwisted, and tuck on it a little bit so it tightens up to a certain degree. And then I'm almost all the way through. Again, after you added this row, you could go around and reinforce this row if you like, because you're not going to be coming back to those seed beads anytime. So you could go around it again and again if you like. And after this, I got one last one to add. This is Mina. Mina is asking what color it is. This is called Jonquil. I never really know how to say that. Jonquil bronze. And the last one just added. So if you wanted, run around one more time. Or if you're ready, you can turn around, and you're going to turn around in the Amos beads as you've been turning around before. I'm just making sure, tightening it up a little bit as I go. There we go. So there is nothing is sort of hanging down, nothing is loose. Now I'm going to turn around as I'm coming out of the inner hole, to sort of going through the outer, back through the outer hole. And this time, again, I'm going to add crystals in between, but I'm going to add the larger 4mm crystals in, because the gaps in between the petals are slightly larger now. And I'm going to run around and add all of these in. There we go. Once we got all the way around, so make sure it kind of like it sits nicely behind. Can you see like it's sort of cupping it for the last row? Sort of each petal, row of petals kind of like hugs the row of petals before. There we go, almost all the way around. Again, if you want to, you can go around and reinforce this row one more time. I'm going to go through a few beads just to tighten it up a little bit. Make sure they're all kind of like sitting the right way. There we go. I'm gonna go through a few beads. All the way around. I really love flowers, and I really love creating all sorts of sort of pretty flower patterns with beads. Almost all the way around. And then once again, we're gonna add seed beads to the back of our petals. So I wanna come out once I finished going around. I caught my tail and I just got the end off so I can pull it through. Once we finished going all the way around, you wanna make sure you're coming out of a crystal bead, because we're gonna do the same thing. Can you see sort of our petals are a little bit rogue at the moment? Some of them are sitting a little bit flat, some of them is sort of standing up a little bit, but by adding once again 3 seed beads to the back of the petals, they're just gonna sort of turn them and secure them in the right way. So they all kind of gonna sit on an angle. Again, I wanna make sure that loop goes to the back of the petal. 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to be adding 3 seed beads all the way around. If you have done this pendant before, let me know in the chat what colors you have done before, or if perhaps you made your own colorway up as well. Would love to know. I could actually imagine this on all sorts of different decorations, even like in home decor as well, because it's quite flat, so you could kind of like sort of glue it onto places as well. And I guess you could keep on going and adding more rows to it, like you could design it bigger and bigger and bigger if you really wanted to. Right, I'm going to add the 3 seed beads to the back of these petals, and with that one, 2, 3, and then going through the next crystal. 1, 2, 3, next crystal. And once you get around, this sort of your framework is done for the pendant, and you will have to, all you have to do is to just do a little bell. With bells as well, you could do all sorts of different sizes. You could do a 4 bead one, a 6 bead one, or an 8 bead one. I will show you on a couple of pendant what's the difference. Again, 1, 2, 3. I'm almost all the way around. 1, 2, 3. One, two, three. See, just jump to the front, so I'm just going to pull it back and pull it back to the back, and then this sort of the main part of the pendant is done. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go and add the bail on the top of this. And again, you can go ahead and go around it one more time if you need to. Now, one thing I like to sort of pay attention to is where am I adding the bail? So if the hole in the bead is going sort of that way from top to bottom, I either like to add the bail right to the top or here right in the middle, sort of the crystal turned one way. Sometimes you can have it on an angle, but I just think a little sort of attention, the paying attention to a little detail like that can make it look like really nice. So to add the bail, you need to be coming out of the 3 seed beads. I'm going to pick up another 3 and I'm going to go through the 2 seed beads sort of on the next loop of 3. But before I actually go into the bail, I want to show you what's the difference between the different sizes. So this one is a 4 bead bail, this one is a 6 bead bail, and this one is an 8 bead bail. So just kind of like the difference between how thick is the kind of like a little beaded ribbon at the top. So I'm going to be doing 6 bead one here. So I'm going to pick up we got like a string of beads here, and we're going to go in and do peyote stitch on the top of this. So I'm going to pick up 1 seed bead. I'm going to turn back around. So I was stitching that way. I'm going to turn back around this way. I'm going to miss this very last bead and then go through the one before, which is the 3rd one on the original little loop. Then I'm going to pick up another one. I'm going to miss one in front of me again and go into the next one, and I'm going to repeat this 2 more times. So when you're doing a 6 bead, or one more time, when you're doing a 6 bead bail, in each row you're going to be, before you turn around, you're going to be adding 3 seed beads. So I added my 3 seed beads. I'm ready to turn around. So I'm going to pick up a seed bead. I was stitching down. I'm going to be stitching up, and this time the beads I need to go through, they're somewhat sticking out, so I kind of know which one I need to stitch into. So again, 1, 2 and 3, and then turning around again, picking up a seed bead, coming down into the 2nd one, then the 4th one, then the 6th one, turning around, going back up the 5th, the 3rd, and then the 1st. And I'm going to be going backwards and forwards until I have about an inch worth of beadwork, or maybe just over an inch, depending how big do you want your bail, depending on what necklaces do you have. If you've got thinner necklaces, you might want it smaller. If you want to wear it on a thicker, chunkier necklace, then you might want your bail a bit bigger, and in that case go for like an 1.5 inches. Just keep adding 3 seed beads in every single row. Oh, Camilla's saying I found the herringbone chain I need to make. I will show you the herringbone chain just in a second, because they do go perfectly with these fleur pendants. You can use, or you can make it from the same seed beads as you used in the pendant, and then it just kind of binds the whole beadwork together, make it look like really pretty. Then just keep backwards and forwards, adding rows to this little ribbon. I'm trying to bead as quick as I can, because probably this is the longest part of the whole pendant by row when you're doing the bail. when you're going backwards and forwards with the same, see, adding the seed beads in. I'm kind of like quite a fast beader, but with beauty stitch you need to be stitched through every single bead. And there we go, just tighten it up a little bit and keep carrying on. And then I think, I don't remember putting a crystal in the middle of the flower. I've always had the crystal in there. You don't have to put in there, I guess it's optional. It's just up to you if you want the crystal in the middle, but it's like, it's the same thing, like, you know, you might want to do just 2 rows of petals and not 3. It's really up to you. If you just want 2 rows of petals, then you're still going to stop by the last step is going to be adding the seed beads, and then you're going to add the bail on. Just keep on going, adding the seed beads in. One, 2, 3. I still need just a little bit more to be able to have, once I need to fold this in half. So once, like, I'm kind of like at the inch mark, or just a little bit over an inch is the right length for the necklaces I like to use, and I like to use the herringbone necklaces with it. I'll just keep on going. If you use up your thread while doing the pendant and you left your bobbin on, then you can always take more thread off the bobbin and just weave your thread back to the outer side and continue your beadwork. I think this would make a beautiful brooch as well, not just a pendant. There's all sorts of different settings we could use it. And I say I must find mine. I'm just adding a couple more rows, and then I think we will have the right length. If you make it too small, once we fold it over, then you won't be able to, it will be hard to put things through it. So kind of you need to make sure it's the right size. I do love peyote stitch. David is saying, I just like things perfect without mistakes. I think I do too. Like, if I make a mistake, and even if it's right at the beginning, or like I need to go back and correct it, because even if you can't see the mistake, I can see, or I know, even if I can't see the mistake, if I'm not like searching for it, like at the glance, I still need to go back and redo it because I know it's there. So we kind of have enough. I need to be on the other side, and actually before I go to the other side, I want to show you what I mean. We're going to fold this in half, and our sort of seed beads have to marry up, and I'm going to sew this to the right to the bottom, and as you can see, this bottom sort of seed bead on this like very edge of the ribbon is sort of sticking in. So the second one is like further out, then the third one is in, the fourth one is out. So on this side, I kind of need to do the opposite. So if it's sticking in on this side, then on this side, I need to be sticking out. So I need to add one more kind of like half a row. So then when I turn them in, they will marry up. So added one again. So now, sticking in, sticking out, perfect, sticking out, sticking in, perfect. So I'm going to fold it in half, just like that, and I'm going to go through as I'm coming out of the very edge bead here. Let me see if I can bring in more. I'm going to go through the one right at the base, and then from that I'm going to jump back to the edge of the ribbon, and I'm going to go through the second bead on there, and from there I'm jumping back to the base of my pendant, and I'm going to go through the third bead on there. Then I'm jumping back to the end of the ribbon, going to the fourth there, 5 at the base, and 6 on the edge, on the end. But I still need to sew kind of like 6th bead back down. I'm just going to turn this around. So I'm going to go through, back through, then change my direction in the 6th bead. And I do like to kind of sort of reinforce and go backwards and forwards a couple of times before I trim or knot and trim my end sort of thread here. So I'm just going to add a half hitch knot. So I'm going to catch the thread path right at the end in between those two beads. I haven't gone through any bead, I'm just catching the thread path, the thread. I'm pulling this through before this loop disappears. I'm going to take my needle through, and this, as I'm pulling it up and tight, will create a little knot on my thread, and then I'm going to take it back towards the other side and repeat the process maybe 1 or 2 times to have a really nice and finish there as well. So herringbone chain I want to show you is a beaded chain. We have done videos on this. You can find it on the website. There is a straight, there is a twisted version. I like to use a twisted version for a necklace and a straight one for the bracelet, but because they are the same seed beads kind of stitched together, I'm just going to pop this through, it makes a necklace look like finished. When the necklace is finished, like really elegant, and you can make this beaded chain for the size you need it to be. Like you can make it longer or you can make it shorter to fit your size and any seed beads. So if I look at this fleur pendant here, I got a herringbone chain to match that one. So that's the gold. If I look at, which one shall we look at? This one here. I can use the exact beads again to make the herringbone chain for that one, and there are kits for the herringbone chains on the website as well. But if you can have a look at which seed bead it had, and in the kit itself, if you click into the fleur pendant, it will show you, and you can order just a bag, one bag of size 11 will do you a whole necklace as well, and obviously you need thread and clasp on the end. Right, so that's it for me today. I hope you enjoyed this session. I'll be back tonight on Kits Robinson Designs. I'm not sure what we're going to be playing with tonight. Probably continuing on the 2-hole beads still. Thank you very much for turning up and watching me. I'm not sure what happened to Facebook. I will go and investigate it. But check out the website. It's 3 for £18 today. Otherwise, it's $6.99 each. Thank you very much, and I see you very soon. Bye, everybody. Bye, bye, bye.